Good morning. I think we're live. I've heard today, being September 12th, this is the last day that we can do Google Hangouts. So I don't know if this is even working, but I think it is. It sure is acting like it always did. So it's Monday Momentum. We're here every Monday morning for you at 8 o'clock Pacific time to give you a little shot in the arm and a little start to your week. Millie, go ahead and unmute and turn your camera on and join me.
Good morning.
Don't sit there. You are good. So, what we wanted to talk about today with all of you and with each other as well is the time that arrives in every entrepreneur's life, which is when, wow, I can't do this by myself anymore. And either my business is going to grow or it's going to stall out and it's going to be a job that owns me or a job that I own, being self-employed basically, versus something that can grow into something that produces bigger income, that serves more people, and that lives on beyond us if we want it to. So what I've been thinking about this morning is a book. I think it's by John Maxwell, and I apologize to all the authors out there if I've got it wrong. It's called Failing Forward, and I'm wondering if you've ever heard of it, Millie, or if you've actually read it, maybe even. Have you read it?
I have started it.
Perfect. And then, okay, it says right here, I don't have to finish it.
I got busy, but it's a good book.
Yeah. Well, and the major concept is, and it's very powerful in the startup community as well, is get something going, get it started, and if it's not working out, be willing to shut it down and go on to the next thing versus drag it out forever, and learn what you can from it. So don't consider it a failure necessarily. We've been raised to, well, I have anyway, that failing is bad, and the word itself is something you don't want to ever say, or you don't want to be called a failure. But really all it is an experiment that taught you something, and it's time to move on to something else. And that's how we learn, and that's how we grow. And so I'm wondering, have you ever experienced anything like that in your own entrepreneurial journey where, okay, that didn't work, maybe I should regroup and try something new?
Yes, business and professional. And one of the things that I can't remember if it was in that book or several other books that I've read, but every successful entrepreneur, the ones that we esteem to be like, have failed far more times than they've succeeded, actually. So that's something that helps me pick myself back up all the time.
Yeah, it almost seems like it's a prerequisite.
Yeah.
There was a time a while ago where when I was driving a different car and the passenger door wouldn't shut. I think it was because it was just frozen. It was too cold, because sometimes it gets cold here like that. And so I was driving, holding the door shut for a short distance, not on the highway or anything, and laughing and thinking, okay, this is it. I'm there now. I'm at the point where we're going to start going up. Yay! It was a celebration.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, you read their journeys, and they all have stories of being bankrupt a couple times, and we did this company and then this happened and it completely collapsed, or whatever it is. Maybe it's a hardship in their life and it has nothing to do with entrepreneurialism, but they come from, they've got a story that's just amazing. And it seems like it's a prerequisite. So it's a time of celebration when you're facing a challenge. Oh, what can I learn from this? Yay, I'm being propelled into the next level, and no reason for regret. So is there a story in particular that you would share that you've been through? I mean, you said yes, in my personal, but is there one you'll share with us?
Well, it may not be a massive failure, but here's what I struggle with is I get on a pathway and then there's like twinkly lights that kind of make me deviate off the path that I originally started on. And I realize when I deviate sometimes I shouldn't have, and I have to do the U-turn thing. And so I always kick myself. It's almost like, when you go to the gym and you're steady for a while and then the holidays come and you fall off and then you kick yourself in the new year because it's like it hurts all over again to get back into shape. I do that professionally. It's like, why did I do that? And but those times have also helped me. Well, sometimes, that is the way to go. You just don't know. It's the road less taken or something. But sometimes that U-turn hurts, and you have to rebuild again. But even going down that little road before you made the U-turn, I have learned things that I wouldn't have otherwise learned. So even in kicking myself, I kind of can hold my head up because it's like, okay, won't do that again. So.
Well, it sounds like you've been able to turn whatever somebody else might call a failure into something that, oh yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I would do it differently now if it was an option now, but at the time that's what I chose and I learned something from it.
You just never know, because entrepreneurs will say all the time, this opportunity knocked once. And sometimes when you open that door, it can be a good thing. Sometimes it's not a good thing. So it's just, who knows?
The shiny distractions, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of our mindset, because we're visionary and we see so many possibilities out there just daily. I mean, at least for me, I get 10 ideas a day of something that, oh, that would be a cool business, or oh, maybe, and you have to pick one or maybe 5 instead of 50.
Yeah.
and follow them. But the key to that, at least for me, has been to know who you are and what you really want, because that will help you decide when those shiny things come along. Our wonderful teacher, Harry Lay, way back at my very first CEO space, which was in 2009, at his class, Going Home, taking the forum home, he said, if it's not in alignment with your vision, don't do it. So when you have that opportunity, because there are lots of opportunities out there, and we should look at them. You never know. This might be the one. This is the thing that's going to break it wide open for you. But, you have to know who you are and what you're trying to achieve first, to be really clear about that. And then when it's presented to you, you can take a look at it and say, well, is this in alignment with my vision? Or is it maybe 360? No, that wouldn't be right. 180 degrees going the other way. And if it is, well, do I want to do that or not?
That's exactly what I've had a very hard time learning, but I think I'm learning it.
Well, and it's that's the process. They say that people who want to quit smoking, it takes them an average of 7 times, no matter what. So if you knew that ahead of time and you gave up after 3, you'd never quit. You'd never stop smoking. If you didn't know that ahead of time, whatever, either way. But each time they try, they learn something new about how to resist the urge, or a new technique for overcoming their fear that they're going to get fat, which is, I think, a really common one. Every attempt that they make, they learn enough stuff so that when it hits the average 7, they can be successful. So we can also think of it that way, that every attempt is getting us closer. So, for all of you out there, the reason that Millie and I are talking about this topic today, it's real clear for me and Millie, who was kind enough to join me only recently, that I am too busy at this moment to be able to successfully do Monday Momentum the way I used to. And I've been thinking about it all morning, that I have been doing this for over 2 years, and I've had lots of wonderful experiences learning how to do Hangouts, and great guests that have come on, and co-hosts that have worked with me, and all of it has been a real cool adventure, and I've enjoyed it immensely, and I don't want to give it up. But right now I'm also running for office again, and I'm pretty dang busy. And what that means is that it's been hard for me to find guests to be on the show, to get it scheduled, to get it set up, and woo, it's Monday morning again, and what have I done since last Monday? The weeks are going very fast. And I ran for office 2 years ago, so I know what that's like, and I'm not surprised that this is what's happening, but I'm also sad and disappointed, because I did think that we would be able to keep it going during the campaign. So we've had this nice chat about it. We've decided to go dormant for a while. And I'm thinking about it as a sabbatical. I don't know if that's, I've never really looked up sabbatical and found out exactly what the word means, but some college professor that you had that has been teaching at the University of Wonderfulness for the last 10 years takes a semester off and goes and studies in Europe and comes back better than ever. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. And I want to share a little story with the rest of you. I was feeling that way a little while ago, maybe 2 or 3 months ago. Trying to remember now, July anyway, that wow, that this is getting to be something I can't manage by myself, and I don't know what to do about it. And when I saw Millie at our CEO Space conference in July, and she said to me, "Oh, I really enjoy Monday Momentum," or I don't know. She can tell you what she said. I can't quite remember, but I was quite surprised. I didn't know she was watching. And that's part of the challenge with this is you've blasted out there and you don't know who's going to see it. And I know there are better techniques and ways to get people to interact than what I've been able to apply. But I was thrilled when she said that. I was just thrilled because I've known her for a while from CEO Space, and I've always liked her. And I just thought, wow, somebody's watching. Wow, here's my next partner that's going to help me. And she was kind enough to say yes, and she has helped me a ton. So I just want to thank you, Millie, for all that, for being willing to jump on board with me over the last few months and really sort this out, and for being willing to say, maybe we should just take a break and really look at this. And she's got some great ideas, which really excites me, because that means that whatever version of Monday Momentum shows up again, we're thinking sometime around Christmas, New Year's, it's going to be different and bigger and better, and I'm going to have a partner with it. So I'm wondering, Millie, I'm going to put you on the spot because we didn't have a chance to talk about it ahead of time. Do you remember any of the benefits for you of listening, of watching, or any of the shows, any of the ideas that you got that we can just sort of have a moment of looking back and, oh, that was really fun, or that one worked really well, over your time interacting with Monday Momentum?
The best part of Monday Momentum for me, am I echoing?
No, you're fine.
Okay. Was just, it kind of dropped some forum back to me. Because I'd see you, and then you had some co-hosts every now and then, but you'd have like Mr. Johnson on, different guests like that, and it was kind of the entrepreneurial kick in the pants I kind of needed to, because Mondays are hard for me. I like my weekends, and so to get back in the groove of working, and it was just the kind of creative, positive energy I just needed to kind of push my way through the week. And I almost wish you had a Friday one where you could wrap it up, like, did you guys practice anything this week that we talked about, on Monday, or, I don't know. It was just, it was kind of my lifeline. And I want to thank you for giving me that.
Thank you. I don't want to be your lifeline.
Well, what you offered on the show, team building and things like that kind of I needed at the time. Like I told you, I would get little twinkly lights, and I kind of deviate a little bit, but it kind of helped me make those little small adjustments that I need to make along the way.
Well, good, because that was the goal, was to help people like us that get distracted and feel alone, and then something new comes along and we think, well, maybe that's it, and then we get mad at ourselves when it wasn't it. That's not, we need to keep going. That whatever the journey is that you're on and that I'm on and that every single other person that views this or not is on, is creating something wonderful for their lives and for the planet. And I really want people to know that and be reminded of that. Give them a little moment every Monday to remember that, because I think you can forget it, and you can forget it to the point where you get sort of squished and give up and forget all together, and then you spend your life doing what other people think you ought to do, or what you think other people think you ought to do, and your dream dies, and your dream is really why you're here. So I don't want that to happen to anybody, and that was the goal for the show. So I'm glad that that's how it felt for you, because that was really what it was supposed to do. I don't have a whole lot more today, and I know that usually we go a half hour, but I don't see that we need to. I do want to spend a minute if I can do it without crying.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking of when we started, my friend Julia, and how at the very beginning we had, I don't know, maybe the first 20 or so shows was Julia and Brenda. I don't know if you know either one of them, Julia Flynnwary and Brenda, oh my God, I'm sorry, honey, I can't remember your last name. Both of them also from CEO Space. And we had so much fun, and we spent time talking a lot in those days about network marketing, because network marketing is the way a lot of people as entrepreneurs begin their business. So how to do that and the skills that you need, and how it often propels you into the next project, which is my journey. My very first business enterprise was a relationship marketing, network marketing, multi-level, whatever you want to call it. And all of those businesses, you have to evaluate them very carefully if you're going to do one of them. But that's only because you want to put your time and energy into something that's solid, because they do sort of start all the time, and some of them don't make it. But it's had a bad rap for a really long time with a lot of people, because people have put in a lot of money and then not done the work they needed to do, or not gotten the support that they needed to have to be successful. And so they've, regretted it later. It was a shiny object that they chased, and whatever they learned from it, they felt like it wasn't worth what they invested, I guess. But I think it's a great way to start out. And I think that really that's what we're living in now. Relationship marketing is what we do now more than ever. And of course, we've always done it. But what social media does for us, what Facebook and LinkedIn and all that does is, and the online review systems, give us a way to ask somebody, even if it's not somebody we know, hey, what do you think about this? Should I buy it too? And that's really what relationship marketing has always been about, is talking to your friends and buying what they buy because they're happy with it. And so it's been fun to watch how that's evolved into something that's really much more powerful and much more used now. It used to only be something that was happening in people's living rooms at Tupperware parties. And now it's just all over the place. And most of the purchases that are made because somebody's read a review at this point, and not because they walked into a store and a salesman talked them into it. And so that was the beginning, and that was the kind of stuff we talked about. And then when James and Linda joined in, we spent a lot more time talking about marketing and online and building websites and how all those things work. And of course, that was also when we began to bring guests on. And a lot of great people from CEO Space have been guests on this show, and I want to thank them all. There's been tons. It's your turn.
Well, are you going to talk a little bit about what our plans are for the new shows coming up after our little sabbatical?
Oh, I don't really know what our plans are yet. I mean, I'll tell you. Yes.
I have big plans for you.
You talk about it. You tell me.
So we're going to continue what Sarah has started, a platform for entrepreneurs to be able to come to and listen and learn from, and maybe even input. So we're trying to figure out what mode that could be a part of, and or how we would do that. So whether it's another form of Google Hangout, or I don't know, like where I'd like to see more interaction from the audience, from our listeners, because it would really give us incentive to know that someone's listening, and also know what your needs are. So what Sarah's goal is to keep helping entrepreneurs in their journey and to help fulfill their mission, because it will do everybody a lot of good to bring a lot of these great visions into formation. So we are also looking for any input from you. So if you could email Sarah or me and let us know, what your concerns or what your creative ideas are, we'd love to implement them. And if you even have help as far as technology, ideas of what we could do, we'd appreciate that too. So, am I right, Sarah? This is about really more growing into a bigger this idea that Sarah has, just to really flesh it out and make it bigger than even what she even initially wanted it to be. Because I think that she's got some really great ideas, and I just like to see as many people help from that as possible. So, anyways.
Thanks, Millie. Yeah. I mean, I've spent enough time talking with you about this and with other people. We need to build a team. And it needs to be, we've got to have a little bit more intention around marketing to promote it, to get people involved in it. And then the vision of, okay, well, what can this be grown into? I mean, are there products that we could be producing that people could be buying? That might be a cool thing. Could we have a Monday Momentum reunion once a year where we all get together somewhere and have an educational experience, or just have a big party? There are other things that could happen, but there needs to be more time put into it to make that happen, and more different mindsets, because mine is big vision and love, and just want to dump it on people. And I don't want to say that's not enough, because I don't think that's true. I think it's plenty, but I want to make sure it's getting to them. And that's the piece that we can't quite be sure if it is or not. And I know that there are ways to do that. There are techniques that you can use to grow YouTube channels and all that kind of stuff to get people to interact with you, but that requires time and expertise. And as we've said over and over again, right now anyway, I don't feel like I have enough time to even do this. I mean, I can put a half hour in, but that's about it. And it's been really great for me all of this time, all of these years that we've been doing it, because after we turn the broadcast off, it's given me a shot in the arm, which is what I wanted it to do for everyone else, but it's also done it for me. And it's been a I can't think of the word I want, but a marker point in the week. Okay, every Monday, here we go. And I've needed that and enjoyed it a lot. And I do feel a little bit like, ooh, what's it going to be like for the next couple of months to not have that? But the other piece of it is because Hangouts are changing, and I looked a little bit at live streaming on YouTube, but I don't understand what that's going to mean in terms of guests and shared, other people. I don't know how that will work. I have to figure that out, because I guess today's the day. So, bigger forces are at work, saying Google has come in and said, Sarah, it's time for you to build a team and figure this out and make it into something that is more sustainable and can serve more people. Or maybe it's time to completely morph it into something different that we don't even know what it is right now. It's just a moment like that. So thank you, Millie. And yeah, we do want all your input. If you've got ideas, if you have suggestions, if you want to come on board, if you're ready to take a little adventure and put your toe in the water of, what would it be like to be on a video cast every week? Or what would it be like to be on a podcast, if that's what's going to this is going to turn into? If you're adventurous, come join us, because this is not anything like the polished wonderfulness that you can produce if you grew up on technology. We know that. I know that. But the way I see it is, you can be bewildered by technology and run away from it and be scared of it, and that probably won't serve you very well. Or you can just do the best you can, and that's what we've been doing. And I've learned a lot. It's been really fun, and I think that's what I want to keep doing, even if it changes a little somehow. So with that, would you like to say any more about who you are and how they can contact you, Millie? And then we'll end our show today.
Yeah, if you have ideas or anything for us, Millie at sterlinglegacyfinancial.com. We would really love it. And we are going to come back bigger and stronger. We're excited.
Great. Thank you, Millie. So Millie didn't tell you that she also is a pro on business credit. So we've had a show about that, and if you didn't see it, go back and find it. But if you've got a business and you haven't done anything about establishing business credit, it's something you really need to look at. Even if you're not planning on ever using it, it can make your business more valuable, and it can help you grow when suddenly you do need to produce 5,000 extra widgets because you just got Walmart online and you don't have the funds to get them produced. That's what business credit can do. It'll save your business at that kind of a moment. So for me, Sarah Coolidge, checking out. You can find me at mondaymomentum.com, mymondaymomentum.com, because they wanted $5,000 for plain old Monday Momentum, and there's no way I was going to pay that. So, you know, that's one of those challenges. So the website is My Monday Momentum. Please contact me if you have input or ideas. You can also find us on the YouTube channel, and, you know, comment and share and like and subscribe, all those things. And then be waiting with bated breath for the reemergence, for the phoenix to rise from the ashes into something new. We don't know quite what it'll be yet. It's been an honor. It has. And I want you to know, no matter what it is you're doing, it matters. Don't give up on it. You are here for a reason. And your dream is the most important thing. It's never going to let you go. So please don't let go of it. We will see you sometime. Thank you very much.